Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus. I'd like to speak with you for a few moments, if I may, on the subject matter, we the people. And I'd like to address this to the Congress. You represent all of the people all over the country. And everywhere that people are, they have representation in the Congress. And each of these people all over the country desire without doubt to have food, to never be hungry. And you are there in Washington to see that this is made real in their lives. They would desire without doubt to have housing, to have shelter, and to be frank, the dream type of shelter. Every last human being in this country have you in Washington to represent their desire, their need, their want to have housing. They also desire education. Well, education is something special now. It allows you to be a little bit smarter, a little bit faster at it, whatever it is that you desire to do. And each of them would like to have access to it, or if they desire to have access to it, no problems. And you are here in Washington to protect that, to see that that is carried out. That health care, well, you know how important health care is. That includes medication and all of the ramifications. And not a single one would want to be in a situation in need and it's not available. You are in Washington to see that this is carried out. You representing all of the people and all of the people requiring this of you. What role would the people play in this process? Since they want you to take care of this, what authority do they have to give to you to take care of this? Well, they benefit from it, and the resources are given. They are from a power we can't see, can't touch, can't feel. We call it God. I do. And these are the resources that we use. So we, the people, engage ourselves in the process. Now, we're lucky because there's something that we have discovered or are discovering that we love doing more than anything else. Some of us have it in sports, basketball, football, dance, others music, singing, others in architect, others in teaching, others in medicine, others in every field. There are people who love whatever it is more than anything else. And the proper way is giving each people the access to engage themselves in that process. And that's what they're basically doing today. A lot of people take jobs and stuff just because they need a job. But for the most part, they're doing what they like to do. And what they're doing is creating resources, creating goods and services in an abundance. Now, this is supposed to be done in a degree that every last one of these citizens throughout this country have put you in Washington to guarantee that this stuff is done, and it's not happening. What's the problem? We got pain, we got suffering, we got homelessness, we got crime, we got violence, we got cops, we got laws, we got jails, we got prisons. What is happening to you in Washington? Is it that we have failed and we are sending the wrong people to Washington? Is it that you are conducting yourselves in a manner that has nothing to do with the representation of the desires of we the people? But yet those who are reaping the rewards, perhaps that's who you are gearing your services to? Is that it? Or is it so that you have been corrupted, that we have been corrupted here in the communities, that we don't even know what we're doing? What is the problem? Can we see the solution to the problem? Stop for one moment. Stop for one moment and tell me, don't you see the solution to the problem? I'll give you a moment to think about it. Well, that's long enough. The problem, my friends, that we have allowed MONEY into the system. You say we have yes, even in the beginning. Yes, it's still here today, but it was the problem. And why was it started? To do exactly what it's doing, to work for some and not others, to abuse others, to exploit others. That's what it's all about. And this was the tool to make it so. And it has worked and is working. And if we think that we can solve our problems, where did the need for money come from? We are family supporting ourselves by the blessings of a Heavenly Father. And someone extorts from that their ability to play God, to deceive people. And so, Congress, I say to you, you have failed the people. And to the people, the citizens of the United States of America, you have failed one another. And together you are a very poor representation of the God of love that has given you all of the resources that you have in this nation, that have made you call yourselves, and believing it, the greatest nation on the face of the earth, rising to the highest occasion. And yet the result of it is the pain and suffering that this nation has to endure. These people have to endure every day. And you walking around trying to go further and further back to yesterday, or maintain the same situation that brought about the problems that we are experiencing. There's only one way for us to go. Staying here is like going on with Trump. Staying here in the safety zone is like going on with Trump. You might as well go head on with Trump, because if you're not going today, you will be going tomorrow. That's what he's counting on. 24. He'll have you tomorrow, and you're still sitting here rather than trying to do the best that can be done. And that is to satisfy the desires, the needs, and wants of the people as best as humanly possible by the resources that God has given you, by the desires in your hearts and the needs and desires and wants of the people. And my George, why aren't you trying to do that? Why? Why? Because of your greed? Look, ladies and gentlemen, nothing belongs to any of us. This stuff called money, nothing but paper. Oh yes, it's designed up to make our minds believe that it has some real significance. It has no real significance except as an expression of our ignorance. We could be living as, we're talking about dying, going to heaven. In the church, it is your responsibility. It has always been your responsibility to keep the people aware of this truth. But rather than doing it, you jumped in bed with them, trying to get as much money as you can. If it's nothing but to pay the light bill, if it's nothing but to pay the mortgage, what in the world are you raising money for to pay a light bill? Lights are from God. All the materials that are used to make that possible are from God. The intelligence that individuals have is from God. The ability to exercise that intelligence and bring forth a light is from God. For what? For we the people, not for somebody to exploit and get rich off of, and other people don't have lights. What's wrong with this world? My God. They need help because they sure don't know any better. If they did, they would do better. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to share that with you. And I want to thank you so very much for giving me 10 minutes of your time this morning. And until next time, I hope I have something even more exciting and wonderful to share with you. Until Eddie Marcus say goodbye.